Hi, I'm Atticus. Hello, people. We are going to start. Here we are at Mission Control, and we are going to start in just a few minutes.
Hello, my name.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to invite my co-pilots, Jeff Hoffman and Ian Brock, to join me on camera now. We're going to welcome everyone before. Hi, Jeff. There you go. And Ian.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, excited. Did we see Ian yet?
I'm waiting for his camera to come on. Well, let's welcome everyone as they start to log on. We have 18 people already joined. We have about 150 people registered, and this is going to be live streamed. It's super exciting. And just to share a little fun story to start, yesterday morning we woke up and realized that we had something that could really, really help people in the world with all of the unrest happening right now. And the youth wanted to organize a session today that's very, very special later in the day. We sent Jeff Hoffman, who's our global board chair, wrote up a beautiful press release. And Jeff, why don't you share that story just a little bit in your experience, and then we'll get started.
Yeah, so we were just really, really excited because everybody is pointing out that the call to action to make America better is not going to come from the top down, from governments or corporations or whatever. The change to make things better is going to come from the bottom up. And we fundamentally believe that that conversation can't happen without the youth who are seeing the protests, seeing the police stories, listening to their parents. So Heidi said, this is our moment. We got to jump on this now. So we wrote up a press release about youth around the world and youth across the country coming together to eradicate racism. And we sent it out, honestly, at the last minute. Usually do a lot more prep for press releases, and it get picked up by nearly 100 media outlets, viewed by between 3,000 and 4,000 media individuals, reporters and stuff, and it's been put out now, picked up and published to a reach of about almost 59 million people, and that happened all in a couple of hours. So that we woke up to realizing that this is the right message at the right time, or it would not have been received that way. So we're very excited.
Very exciting. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, well, let's get started, everyone. We are going to be teeing up we're going to be teeing up here video to introduce you, to welcome you into the Dream Tank. But first, I'm just going to say welcome, everyone. This is a momentous day. We have a very, very fun day of learning, adventure, excitement, purpose, passion coming together in store for all of you. It is, consider it an oasis to spend the day with us when the world is having a really hard time. So Braden, you are here, and if you've teed up the immersive video, I would like, okay, great. So I just want to share just a little for some remarks about the background of Dream Tank, and then have Jeff share a little, and Ian. Ian is my co-host today, along with Jeff and Lauren and all the amazing team who you'll hear from at some point today. Um, but just a little background. So Dream Tank was started in 2016 in July as an experiment. And you'll hear way more about it later. We started as an experiment because we saw something missing in the world when it comes to trying to achieve achieve solutions for the biggest problems. And that was the best imaginations, radical collaboration, all these things. We know we need to come together and solve our problems, but we needed a really big reason and we need the best ideas. So we started out as an experiment. What if we created an accelerator and a think tank to listen to youth's ideas on how to solve the problem? And so over 4 years, we tested and iterated. We had lots of impact. We changed two laws. Youth, this is all youth led. And it's all about purpose and passion and then helping them go build their dreams. So when the pandemic happened, we had a whole plan, like everyone had plans. And we reached out to our community and talked to a global group of youth who showed up, and they said they wanted to create an epic experience and use their time at home to make a big impact in the world. And so we launched this whole online program that you're going to hear a lot about, called the Reverse Pandemic, youth led, youth designed, and intergenerational teams implementing hackathons. So you'll hear all the great ideas that came from that and all the great people that are part of us. And you're going to learn a lot and have a lot of fun today. So Jeff, could you say just a few words before we start the video?
Absolutely. And I'll make it quick because we really want to get down to the meat of the discussions today and get our amazing young leaders in front of you, not me. But I will say that, I'm really excited to be the global chairman of Dream Tank, because when Heidi first called me and talked about this vision, it became very clear that in conversations around the country and around the world, where people are, quote, designing the future and discussing the way things should be, sadly, so many of those conversations were being held by, quote, adults about designing a future for our kids to inherit, yet none of them were in the room. So too many meetings were happening and too many tables and boardrooms talking about a future that the youth will inherit and control, and we weren't asking them. They weren't at the table. And so when Heidi and I first talked, we had this discussion that every boardroom and board meeting of any company that's going to design the future should have a young voice in it, and young minds and young ideas. So Heidi said, let's take Dream Tank and make it the global network of youth leaders that want to affect change, that want to be in the decision-making process, that want to address problems and create solutions. And I couldn't have been more excited to be part of this. So that's where we are. We launched, and you're going to see today, we have some incredible young people, and we want more of them. People listening on the live stream to join us, people listening globally. We need global ambassadors to youth in whatever country you're in. But as we grow this network and attack problems like COVID and like eradicating racism, you will be blown away by the creativity, uninhibited, wide open thinking and innovation of young minds. So instead of assuming, because they're younger than us and have less, quote, experience, that their ideas are less important, in fact, their ideas are typically more creative and more unbridled and more uninhibited. And we want to make sure that every decision that's made that's important to the world has a youth component in it, or they're leading it themselves. So thank you guys for your time today. Thank you for being here and joining us. And in addition to joining today, if you haven't already joined our movement as a young person or as a mentor or as a sponsor, go to dreamtank.co and sign up to join us throughout the day. So Heidi, I'll bring it back to you.
Wonderful. And I'm also so excited that my kids are watching. They're not here with me, they're with their dad, but they're watching. So I wanted to say hi, Summer and Cody. You have inspired so much change that's happening in the world already by being who you are. And I'm so honored to be your mom. So Ian, can you share just a little bit about you? And then we'll kick off the video.
Well, first off, I just want to say What a pleasure it is to be on this panel. And thank you all for attending this amazing event. You know, when I first started, found out about Dream Tank from Mr. Hoffman, at first I kind of thought it was a little fluky because he talked about how there was going to be this youth led think tank that was going to find all the solutions and fix all the problems in the world. And at first I didn't believe it. But then when I got a chance to interact with our team, I saw that this was a working collective group that was actively working together and engaging with each other. And even though we were at its infant stages, I saw that it was going to lead to something big. Events like this just proves even further to the fact that we're actively working to make change in the world, not just through racism, but also through education system and everything else in the world, through all the viruses, through the coronavirus. This is what brought us all together. And I think that is super important and super amazing that we have all of you attendees coming on board. And I think it's truly going to be an amazing event. And like Mr. Hoffman said, if you want to join our movement, go to dreamtank.co. Also follow us on our social medias at We Are Dream Tank so that we can go on to change the world.
Thank you, Ian. Okay, so as typical with every Dream Tank program we've done, we start with immersing ourselves in this journey and either going through portals or time travel through multimedia experiences. And so with the online, we have an amazing, brilliant filmmaker who's only 17 years old from Boulder, Colorado, Fairview High School, Morgan Bauer, who is one of our fellows and on the team and has prepared this amazing video for you to experience entering the Dream Tank. So, ready, Raiden? Wow. I hope you're all as inspired as we are. That was so amazing. Thank you so much, Morgan. Um, this is really exciting. Okay, so next, I wanted to ask if, so Keshav, if you could come on screen. Um, we are now, this is Keshav, so you'll make an introduction. We're entered into the dream tank. So we are all now thinking like kids. Everyone is invited to imagine if we were really to reinvent the world with dreams. If we have the young people's ideas and all of our skills, we can make it happen. So we set out to do just that with our reverse pandemic hackathon. And we put out a call, and Keshav is one of the young leaders who showed up along with Ian, and you'll meet many of our team throughout the day. But Keshav responding to the call. And so Keshav, I'd like you to introduce yourself and say a little bit about, kind of how you see dreams and what dreams mean to you. I love what you wrote when you wrote up some things about that, and then just share a little bit about this experience, the design challenge we had, and so we can tee up the videos to show all the pitches.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for giving the mic to me, Heidi. And I'd just like to introduce a little bit about myself. My name is Keshav Soni. I'm currently 15 years old, and I'm in the Bay Area. I'm located in the Bay Area. And I joined really Dream Tank because I wanted to empower youth to these reverse pandemic, I guess, like these sudden outbreaks that happen in our world, and starting with the coronavirus and moving on and expanding to other parts of the world. So I'd like to give a quote that I really, really like and that relates to Dream Tank. Dreams is not what you see in sleep, it's the thing which doesn't let you sleep. When you're dreaming, you're immersive in that experience. You want to create something. You don't want to sleep. You don't want to waste your time sleeping. You want to make that dream come into fulfillability. Therefore, that's why I pretty much joined Dream Tank, because my quote and my thinking matches the style that Dream Tank and Heidi's, I guess, curriculum and style is. It's parallel to those ideas. So, Heidi, do you want me to introduce a little bit about the hackathon as well?
Yes, and I'll also say we do promote sleeping and resting and wellness, and that's amazing. Yeah, it like wakes me up. You wake up like a lightning bolt. Imagine waking up every day being so excited to do something. That's what happens in the Dream Tank. So yes, please do frame it up, Keisha. Thank you.
So just give you a brief intro of our hackathon. In recent weeks, we have seen the significant economic impacts, social impacts, and political impacts of coronavirus on the entire financial market as a wide range of industries, such as manufacturing, tourism, hospitality, and travel. The goal of the rapid response team, pretty much our Dream Tank team, is to create a challenge which focuses youth ideas to solve these solutions. In order to do so, we created 4 themes. We created actually 5 themes, but 4 main themes, which is economic restructuring, healthcare aid and assistance, community resilience, and education. To sum up the economic effect of coronavirus, we have already seen the stock market being lower. It's the first time in the stock market since 1980. It was the lowest during this coronavirus time period. Healthcare aid and assistance, like any solution that could increase the efficiency of detecting, preventing, or treating the virus. And finally, community resilience to develop a data-driven solution, as well as education. We do focus widely on education because a lot of education school systems have been changed due to COVID-19. And finally, open innovation. Whatever wildest dreams, wildest ideas you have, we will make it into a reality. And through this, we actually gained 17 very interesting ideas in their own matter of perspective. And I think it's just beautiful how these youth collaborators around the world, all ages, come together to create something that's absolutely amazing in this hackathon.
Wonderful. So I think now we can tee up. So we have the finalists of our of the ventures and ideas that we have invited here today to meet all of you and be in all of these workshops and sessions. We're going to highlight their ideas first.
As more people
Brayden is going to tee up, and I want to there's a lot happening on the back end, people. So and there's lots of help and support. I wanted to let everyone know that check out the chat on the side for resources, links, places to engage further. And if you have a problem you cannot figure out, you can email helpdesk@dreamtank.co. And on our homepage is a list of the agenda and all of the links. And we are live streaming this. So if you have family and friends or people who haven't registered, at this point, you can just send them to the live stream on our webpage. So that's really exciting. And so there might, who knows how many people are going to be watching us, but tune in. Really excited. So without further ado, Braden, could you tee up these ventures? Yes. And so just as you're teeing it up, one more thing is they were given, the hackathon participants were given very broad, like they could come, it wasn't so prescriptive. So it was very broad in these categories. So it's we wanted to have the broadest creativity as possible. And they were not expected to have a fully built prototype, but some of them did, and it's just spectacular. So go ahead, Braden. Thank you.
Hi, judges. Welcome to our
So while Braden is setting this up, I'll just like to also say a few of my words related to the Hackathon Venture projects. There were 17 projects, and it was over a 1-month time period span. And I believe these projects are really empowering to youth and everyone in this webinar as well to create any ideas, and we can make them into a reality. So these projects range from a wide variety of nations as well. They're very distinct in their own perspectives. So what you're going to be seeing is a few of the videos of these projects and pretty much a brief summary of around 3 to 6 minutes on what the project is related to. And if you're interested in learning more about the project, I think Lauren already posted an email that you guys can contact us. It's helpdesk@dreamtank.co. So if you feel free to contact us at that if you have any questions or you would like to, I guess, help out or interact with these projects as well. Thank you.
Community-driven, decentralized. Relief is a community-driven, decentralized food pantry platform. It intends to offset the increased demand that traditional food banks and food pantries are experiencing during the COVID-19 crisis. Our goal is to serve families and individuals in need, help community members help each other, improve efficiency, and reduce contact. Relief's mobile and web application serves families and individuals in need, connecting them with members of their communities that can provide first necessity items. The platform addresses several logistical and nutritional challenges that traditional food pantries face by offering a set of tools and presenting guidelines for volunteers and in-need families on how to handle the request, collection, and fulfillment of relief packages. A current challenge of large food banks is that they struggle with an increased demand for food, thus longer lines and, during a health crisis, higher chances of exposure for beneficiaries and volunteers. The solution is that Relief provides the tools for volunteers to run a zero-contact distribution center from their home with items present in most households. Another challenge is that food needs to be sorted, verified, and prepared for distribution by volunteers at a central location. Relief's solution is that it allows volunteers to host their own distribution centers at home and only focus on a limited number of items to sort. Food banks receive massive amounts of donations each day. However, some items might not be useful. These carry an unnecessary burden for the sorting process. Relief sought help from medical doctors specialized in nutrition to create a basic list of food items that people from different age groups need and how to obtain them with a very low budget. Donors select the items that they seek to donate from this list, eliminating the need of disposing unusable products. Additionally, potential donors from distant communities might be discouraged from donating. Our platform encourages donors to donate to volunteer-driven distribution centers in their area. So how does it work? Volunteers enroll through Relief's mobile or web applications, where we provide safety guidelines and instructions on setting up a no-contact distribution center with highly available household items. Donors locate distribution centers in their area using the platform where they can safely drop off needed items. The platform coordinates non-conflicting pickup times for multiple beneficiaries. Families can pick up their personalized relief package items using a numbered container system. The basic request to fulfillment flow works as follows. A family in need, the beneficiary, requests help via mobile or web application. In order to do this, they are required to provide general information about each member of their household, such as sex, age group, allergies, and other special conditions such as diabetes or lactation. The platform generates a personalized relief package for that household. A request gets pushed to every distribution center in the area, or based on certain criteria such as stock levels or time availability, the request might be accepted or rejected. The package gets accepted by a distribution center and several pickup times are presented to the beneficiary. This action locks the items required to build the relief package so that they are available when the beneficiary chooses to pick them up. The beneficiary accepts the time that works the best for them. A confirmation is issued to both the distribution center and the beneficiary. On the day of the pickup, the volunteer hosting the distribution center assigned to fulfill the order receives a reminder of the list of items required to fulfill the order and a container number. At least 15 minutes prior to pickup time, the volunteer places the items in a previously disinfected container marked with the indicated number. This container should be located in a shaded, accessible location on their property. Beneficiaries, in anticipation of the pickup, receive several alerts containing the address, pickup time, and container number where their items will be located. The beneficiary drives to the indicated location and collects the items from their container. The pickup is confirmed by the beneficiary through the mobile or web application. Our team is committed to continue working on the Relief platform by producing a minimum viable product within the next few weeks while reaching out to leaders in our area to form alliances and collect feedback. We're also gearing up to begin community outreach via targeted social media campaigns to raise awareness on the different tools and resources available that can be used to increase community resilience. We believe that people are willing to help each other, and it's our goal to provide communities with the tools and resources that make this possible.
The number of coronavirus cases is increasing day by day. Unfortunately, though, the number of healthcare resources isn't sufficient to keep up with the rise in the number of COVID-19 cases. To avoid something like a smallpox, which had devastating results, it is the need of the hour to make efficient use of our existing healthcare resources. And that's precisely what our product is focused on. We use AI technologies like computer vision and natural language processing to determine the probability of a person being affected by the virus. This test is free and can be taken by anyone using a smartphone or a computer. The probability which the test will output will save doctors from handling unnecessary cases, thereby helping them direct their attention to the cases that need it. Also, this will help in preventing overcrowding of hospitals and exertion of medical workers, thus aiding the governments and ensuring that the productivity of medical workers isn't compromised. At the end of the test, the patient can consult any of our verified doctor for further queries. The consultation is monitored in real time by our AI bots, and a prescription is generated automatically in the end. In case further action is authorized by the doctor, the person can use the help of our digital nurse to book lab tests, order medicines, view the nearest quarantine spaces, and even book follow-up appointments. Here is a quick demo.
Please let me know what you need assistance with.
I want to book an appointment.
When do you want to book your appointment?
Would tomorrow at 12 p.m. be fine?
Thank you. Your appointment is confirmed. Please be available on time.
Monetization. Our product is an all-in-one digital hospital which not only performs diagnosis but also connects patients with doctors and laboratories. We will charge a commission fee when a doctor or lab is connected with a patient. After the coronavirus fades away, we will expand the platform to bring more doctors, labs, and patients. And along with that, we will also be including state-of-the-art diagnosis techniques which can be performed by a computer. The product will need 5 more days to finish development and can then be rolled out to the market. Well, yeah, so that's COVID Care for you. It's the world's first AI-powered digital hospital and laboratory which is aimed at solving the coronavirus crisis. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day and take care. Bye.
Hi, my name is Mateo Tuffer. I'm 10 years old and I go to the Whistler Waldorf School. The problem I want to solve is how can we bring more connection into remote playdates.
Our product.
The big idea of Toka games is including physical objects in remote play. These objects will come in a kit, and they are mirrored at each player's location. The objects are called bogs, bumpers, obstacles, and goals. They come in various shapes, like pylons, cubes, spheres, and cylinders. Bumpers deflect, obstacles subtract points, and goals add points. There will be numerous games and courses to choose from. Courses will also be mirrored at each player's location. Balls and bogs will move in unison at each player's location so you can see your friend's turn play out before your eyes. The players will need to take turns with the Toka ball. You'll know it's your turn when the ball changes to your team's color. You'll know a goal will score when lights flash and bells ring. Toka Games is a great addition to video chats. The ball and bogs will have sensors and electronics inside. This will include gyroscopes, accelerometers, motors, colored lights, and a speaker for sound. Our kit includes the main Toka ball and bogs plus the app. Now, let's talk about the app. The Toka ball app will map the locations of the ball and bogs, so they are synchronized between the players' locations. The app will include pre-designed courses and also let you make your own. The app will guide each player on setting up the course before each game, so each player's course is identical. The app will also track movement and interaction of the balls and bogs throughout the game.
Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
Pretty boring here.
Oh, yeah, it's boring here as well. I mean, we played Nintendo like 1,000 times already.
You know what I'm thinking?
Yes, I do.
Toka game!
Alright, what do you want to play?
Well, we can either do billiard, obstacle courses, or,
Mini golf?
Mini golf, yeah. I think billiard's kind of nice. Which one do you
Yeah,
want to do?
billiards is fun.
Let's go play.
Yes.
Aye-ya!
My name is Connor, and I will.
Hey, dude, that was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was pretty fun to do it next week as well. Maybe we could invite Brayden and Natasha.
Yeah, all right. See you next week.
All right.
Oh, yay!
An early estimate of a per kit manufacturing cost is $25, with a sale price of $80. This keeps us competitive with products like Zero or a single video game. Design development to get us ready for our crowdfunding campaign, and manufacturing would be 3 months at a rough cost of $100,000. Marketing budget would be on top. In the future, I'd love to be partnering with Disney or a toy company. I've never done anything like this hackathon before. I hope this video is a good demonstration of my idea. Thank you for watching.
Hi judges, welcome to our Spend Smart app presentation. My name is Rahul Verma, a 6th grader of age 12.
And I'm Neelish Soni, currently in San Jose, and I'm 10 years old.
Hi, my name is Shruti Verma, I'm 18 years old, and I'm a current first-year student at Columbia University.
The problem. Let's start with going over the 2 main problems we are facing in this pandemic.
80 million people could be unemployed due to the after effects of the COVID-19 virus.
Economic problems. Many families are taking in little to no income. Even with the additional government paychecks, they will barely be able to live for 1 month. If they could save any amount of money, it will help them live for longer.
So far, social distancing is our only weapon against this virus.
But social distancing is nearly impossible in grocery stores.
Our solution. Now we're going to move on to talk about how our hack solves these problems.
So, what is our hack? We are helping citizens know which supermarkets have the items they want at the cheapest price and the closest distance.
Features of our hack. Users can find which stores have the items they want at the lowest price, find the stores closest to them, and locate their items in-store to find them quickly.
How do we fix limiting outside exposure? We can determine closest grocery stores, find items in-store, and help them avoid traveling to multiple stores.
How do we reduce money spent for users? We have them spend less money on gas, spend less money on groceries, and spend smart. App demo. Now that you are asleep from many slides of info, you can now see our app in action.
Hi guys, this is Shruti again. I'm going to be showing you a demo of our app using a program called Expo. The first thing you're going to see is our loading page. So our company again is Spend Smart. This brings us to a sign-in page. So for our sign-in page, we do have an account built for our team, but because we wanted to let you guys try it, you can actually click login as of now and it'll just let you go in. Obviously, this wouldn't be the case in an actual app. This brings you to a page where you can see your recently searched items or search for any other items if you wanted to add them to your basket. So let me go ahead and add a couple. Well, I do like mangoes. So it says, congratulations, you can either undo that addition or you can keep it. I'm going to keep it. Let's see, I like apples. And then now that I've satisfied my parents and picked enough fruits, I'm going to go ahead and pick cookies. That sounds good. And you can obviously lettuce, nope, I'll undo that. Now that you've selected your items, you can click My Basket to ensure that the correct items are in your basket. Once you've made that confirmation, you can go ahead and click on the basket icon to go to this page. This page essentially has a Google Maps-like display that tells you the stores that are closest to you that contain the items in your basket. And also you can see here there is a table. Now that we have the table here, you can make a decision for yourself in terms of what store you want to go to based on the distance and the price that they're offering you, or you can actually look through the table. We've ranked it according to which stores we think are best for you. You can see here that Target is one of the cheaper stores and it's the closest to you. So based on our algorithm, we've decided that Target would be the best option. So I'm going to go ahead and click Target. This brings me to this page that tells me not only the address of Target, but also the different aisles in terms of where the items I want are located in the store. There's a disclaimer here at the bottom that tells the user, hey, you should use this information to make sure that your trip to Target is as quick as possible. And that's essentially the main functionality of our app. We also have included an Our Mission page just so that if users want to learn more about us, they can see us here. And there's also a cute little picture of us there along with an explanation of our mission. Thank Thank you so much for listening.
Why are we better than existing solutions? Well, our competitors give prices of single items.
Our product gives prices of many items.
Our competitors does not find the closest grocery stores.
Our product finds the closest grocery stores.
Our competitors do not find items in store.
Our product finds items in store.
Progress. Next, we'll talk about the progress we have done on our app.
Steps needed to achieve our goal. 1. Marketing, research, mock-ups, and planning.
2. Development of the app.
3. Completion of the app and deployment, and we are in step 3.
Execution. Next, we'll talk about how we can have our app available to the public and possible market capabilities.
Our process to becoming profitable is easy. First, deploy the app in the iOS and Google Play Store.
Second, recruit small businesses to add their ads to our app.
Lastly, include premium features.
Our mission. Next, we'll talk about how we wish not to only become a business, but to help the world too.
Our mission. Our mission is to help those affected by the sudden outbreak of COVID-19. If we can even save $1 for a family that is unemployed, or even prevent a single COVID-19 case, it will make all of this worth it.
Thank you. Any questions? You can contact us at spendsmart.llc@gmail.com.
As more people are recovering from COVID, public places are opening. Many of them want people to wear masks, but they can't enforce it. It's hard for a large business to check if everyone is wearing a mask. This makes it more likely for people in public places to get the coronavirus.
This is extremely dangerous as people are now going to public places and the risk of contracting COVID is much higher. If people do not take the necessary safety measures, they're endangering themselves and everyone around them.
Before we head into our idea, let's introduce ourselves. We are a brother and sister team. I'm Cinta and I'm 10 years old, and I'm the creative one.
And I'm Achint, and I code her ideas into a reality.
I thought of this idea when I saw people without masks on walking. I knew that if they were in a crowded space, they would be putting everyone around them in danger.
So what is our solution? We have a software that will detect if a certain person is wearing a mask or not. If they are, then it's fine. But if they aren't, it will alert the manager or security that there is someone without a mask. Then, the manager or security could provide them with a mask or escort them out of the building.
Let's look at a quick demo.
As you can see, it shows that she is not wearing a mask at the moment. And then when I come on, it says that I am wearing a mask. Now you'll see, as soon as I take off the mask, it will detect that I do not have a mask on. Now, once this video closes, it's going to switch to the photos of the people who didn't wear the mask. There's one of my sister and there's one of me. This software saves all photos of people that aren't wearing a mask. This way, the security or the local manager can indeed confirm that there was a person that was not wearing a mask. This way, they have proof. For this demo, I've given it my phone number and it texts me whenever it senses someone is not wearing a mask. To send messages through Python, I use Twilio's free API service. An addition I'm working on right now is learning how to use Twilio's API to send the actual image through messages. Right now, even though my program saves the images, I don't know how to send the actual image through Twilio's API of the person not wearing the mask. This device is especially useful for businesses. You can place it by the entrance or add the code to a security camera. This will ensure that their workplace is a lot safer. This is also useful for hospitals, grocery stores, gas stations, public parks, and other public facilities. This will ensure that even in public places, the government can regulate whether or not if their citizens are safe.
We understand it may be difficult for people to have access to masks. That's why we also made an efficient, reusable, 3D printed mask.
This mask was just a quick side project. As you can see, it's secured by a rubber band, and once you take it off, you'll see that it actually has 3 parts. The main mask, the filtration pad, which is white, It's an N95 filtration pad, and it also has a little disc to secure the N95 pad from falling out. If you want to replace the N95 pad, you can just take out the disc, place the new N95 pad in, and then resecure it with the disc. This way, no masks are left unused, and people will use just the right amount of N95 that they need. This is better than the surgical mask because there's only one breathing passage, and that is directly through the N95 filter. This will make sure anything that you breathe in is through the filtered N95 pad. The traditional surgical mask, however, is not made from such a high quality filtration material. Even if it was, it would be wasting a lot of it. That's why this specific design utilizes minimal amounts of filtration material.
Make sure to stay home, stay safe, and stay positive.
Hello, my name is Connor, and I will be telling you a little bit about hope. Our project is to bring people together. During these times, it's hard looking at the positive side of things, and we understand that. This pandemic is all about staying close as a community and sticking together. Our website makes it easier to do that. We have kindness challenges, where we can do something about the world we live in, and we have a chat room where people can make new friends, learn new things, and relieve themselves of stress. Finally, we have something called Inspirona, which is a clever mix of inspiration and corona. Here, we give people inspiring videos, pictures, and quotes that will push them to make a difference in the world. This is something that we are very passionate about and hope to grow in the future. We may be able to spread by telling our friends and family to share this with others, and hopefully the people they share it with share our websites with others too. We hope you enjoyed our website and have a little bit more hope. Thank you.
Greetings to all. I'm Diana from Malaysia. During this pandemic, we were thinking about the ways that people can stay safe when they go outside, like washing their hands and using sanitizers, wearing masks, and avoiding close contacts. Of course, these are right, but there are still places where we are forced to come in contact with machines or things, such as gas stations and ATM centers. Once, I heard my parents telling that it is not safe to do transaction or withdrawal money from the ATM machine, and I was wondering why. Soon I got the idea that it is because many people use this ATM machine. That's when I thought, why not develop an ATM machine with sensor? All of us are aware that to do ATM transactions, we need to type in our details. I don't think this is a safe way to do, especially during this present situation. Why? Because hundreds of people are using this ATM in a day, or maybe more in a crowded area or a situation. And this present virus stays for a long time on metals, and the ATM machine has a metallic keypad. In the future, you or anybody should try to develop a machine which works without keying in. Like what? Face or speech detection, which will be easier to install or develop on a ATM machine because some phones are already using this technology. Use finger sensors to detect the numbers instead of type in. Hope everyone agreed to my idea. Let's all hope for this time to end soon. Stay safe, stay home, think more. Thank you.
We are MedU, a group aiming to connect Ugandans with no-cost health education. Thank you, Dream Tank and Dream Makers, for the opportunity to present today. My 25-year-old from St. Paul, Minnesota, and I believe today building community is more important than ever. COVID-19 is one of the most significant challenges facing our generations, but I have a team of passionate people working to tackle it in Uganda. Currently, we've established MVP requirements and built relationships, but we are looking for board members and finances to provide advisory, legal, and team support.
Hello, Dream Tank. My name is Riley. I've worked with clinical stakeholders from all backgrounds, from patients and their families to big pharma, and my experience inspires my enthusiasm for our project, MedU, and its promise for effecting tangible improvements to clinical practice. Through the collection and packaging of diverse datasets, we aim to create tailored educational materials so that clinicians can perform their duties with greater confidence and results. MedU will provide a low-cost platform capable of building lasting partnerships, widely disseminating educational materials, and improving clinical outcomes in Uganda.
Hi, I'm Annie. I'm a freelance artist and market researcher in the DC area. I'm also the user experience designer at MedU. I'm really excited to be working on this team.
Here's the splash page, where the user has the option to log in or create an account. If the user is an expert, he will create an account by inputting his credentials and areas of expertise. Here is the home screen for the expert user. Here, the user can post a question to the public forum or search and filter through popular conversations. On the expert user's dashboard, the user can manage their network and their learners. On the Learner Users homepage, the user can search for an expert, using the filter and search functions to find an expert that matches their needs, such as language, location, and area of expertise.
Hello, my name is Michaela Schmidt, and I am here to support MedU as their subject matter expert and partner. I'm a co-founder of CAFO Minnesota, a teleeducation project bridging cross-sector partners, educators, physicians, and researchers across the globe. After spending a considerable amount of time learning at Kigazi Healthcare Foundation, CAFO, in Uganda, and in awe of their work and ability to serve underrepresented populations, my team continues to stay engaged. We became international ambassadors of the nonprofit. Now, looking to scale, we are so excited to be in collaboration with you. We are confident that their efforts will make a lasting impact for the people of Uganda.
My name is Dr. Geoffrey Anguio, the founder and executive director of Kigazi Healthcare Foundation. I am happy to be represented at this collective impact summit by MedU. CAFO needs more access to education for our own population, specifically COVID-19, and we can't wait. CAFO is well placed with our community outreach clinics and build trust with the refugees to work with the MedU and see this grow. During my medical practice with the poor communities, I have learned that one person making noise for help is good, but when many people make noise, it becomes musical and attracts more attention. I hope you can all make music today. Uganda needs this, and CAFO can be a leader as it spreads. Thank you.
Our product, Moral Investment, was created and founded by Nathan Montanari, Stanley Keith, and Joshua Montanari. With the coronavirus pandemic unleashing a wave of job losses, bankruptcies, and factory closures across the world, Germany's GDP is due to shrink 6.3% in 2020. Minister Peter Altmaier says we will experience the worst recession in the history of the Federal Republic. The economic blow will surpass the one left by the global crisis of 2009, which saw Germany's economy shrink by over 5%. The DAX index, the German equivalent of the Dow Jones Index, is forecasted to drop substantially as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Also, 40% of Germans said yes when asked if the current pandemic would have a strong financial impact on their family. Germans do not have a way to grow their savings during the current pandemic. In 2014, the European Central Bank introduced negative interest rates a financial policy where cash deposits incur a charge for being stored at a bank on
Hi
major
everyone,
German financial institutions. In order to offset this expense, these institutions then implemented their own negative interest rates on their clients' savings accounts to create an additional revenue stream. Because of this policy, German depositors recorded a loss of 38 million euros in 2017. Suzanne Shire stated that most economists don't expect the European Central Bank to raise interest rates on the euro. Unfortunately, this means that German savers will see negative interest rates on their savings account and will record another loss. Over the past 6 years, the federal government has drastically cut national interest rates. The major effect of this is that Germans are not able to grow their savings. This, along with the financial crash the economy is facing, leaves a large majority of Germans faced with this problem. Using ESG data to choose less risky investments for improved future returns is a solution to this problem. By providing an intuitive website and mobile application that provides comprehensive ESG data, retail investors will have an efficient and straightforward way to access and integrate ESG data with their investment decisions. Data from asset management startup Arabesque, for example, found that S&P 500 companies that ranked in the top quintile for ESG factors outperformed those in the bottom quintile by more than 25 percentage points between the beginning of 2014 and the end of June 2018, while their stock prices were less volatile. Harvard Business School professor George Serafeim wrote for Barron's, "Even if you do not believe that ESG factors will improve performance, I haven't seen any recent evidence that integrating material information about ESG will hurt performance."
This is the website and hopefully the mobile application that Moral Investment will look like. As you can see here, it includes a basic homepage with information about the company and our service, as well as our positions within the company, contact, and our location. Plans and pricing shown here have a free subscription, a basic subscription, and a premium subscription. The More tab shows educational content as what ESG is, the factors, and why it's good for your business.
The average investor ability to understand ESG is limited due to their lack of proficiency in financial literacy. The app and website will include a tab with links to educational content to help the user learn about the importance of ESG data and how to improve their financial literacy. A subscription for ESG data typically costs hundreds of thousands of euros, which is only affordable for large institutional investors. By being less expensive than its competitors, Moral Investment is able to target a market previously isolated by ESG data providers. Moral Investment will capitalize on the lack of competitors in the ESG rating market and the increased necessity of using ESG data when investing. Rating companies that are present in the German market are more concerned with the volume of data they provide rather than having a rating system aimed at being as intuitive to use as possible. This oversight allows Moral Investment to tap into the market of retail and institutional investors who value having their data in a readable format and in one place. As these institutional investors continue to focus their interests on ESG, retail investors will follow their lead and consider ESG-ranked stocks for their portfolios as well. I can't see it.
Hi, my name is Peter Yawe, one of the members of the COVIDoc team. And COVIDoc is a web-based platform that's built to increase the efficiency in detecting the novel coronavirus as well as preventing the disease in particularly the Plateau State, Nigeria community. In March 2020, WHO declared the novel coronavirus as a global pandemic. Since then, the figures have continued to rise. Presently, there are about 2.2 million active cases with over 1,000 deaths worldwide. And Nigeria here particularly, we have over 3,000 active cases with over 100 people dying. And from scientific projections, these figures will continue to rise, especially in Nigeria, if nothing is done. So it's out of this that we built the COVIDoc, which is a web-based platform with features which include interface that connects individuals in the community to doctors, where they can chat to doctors and ask questions about the novel coronavirus without going out of their houses and without having physical contact, which is in keeping with the WHO guidelines of social distancing and the lockdown. Another feature of the COVID doc is the ability to map out hotspot areas in the community where confirmed cases or suspected cases of the coronavirus has been imputed, such that when an individual goes to an area with confirmed cases, the app begins to beep, and then he or she takes more precaution. Third feature of the COVID doc is to provide emergency response, especially for individuals in the community who come down with coronavirus complications. Here they can connect with ambulances and hospital systems, and so that an emergency response can take place. The COVID doc also provides interface where they can get reliable information about the coronavirus. The COVID doc is going to debunk myths, going to correct misperceptions, and provide facts about the coronavirus. And with opportunities like this, COVID doc will block that cycle of the rising figures in coronavirus and provide efficiency in detection of virus and prevent the virus, so that we can go back to one peaceful world once again. Thank you.
Okie doke. Before I begin, I wanted to share a message to the brothers and sisters of color, the community, the amazing leaders, and family members, that we hear you and see what's going on, and it is not okay. We stand with you, and we'll fight to make it right. With that said, I want to transition into my submission for the reverse pandemic solution centered around community resilience. The idea I came up with was we'll start with where I started, and then how it kind of transitioned and some fun things that came through. This was supposed to be a hub for people to get their resources. Lots of media is sharing blurbs, but there wasn't a place that really tried to bring things together and let you explore the different specifics, as well as have a community feature where you could create a profile, log in, and engage and upvote, downvote, and even help build the site itself through a forum. Here we go with some blog articles around mental health resources that other people have put together, just articles around different topics. You can this page is about overall what's going on. There's a forum aspect, and so building this out so that there's a place to go. You could have specific pages for cities, countries, what the community needs. And it was through building this and feeling sort of at odds with part of the world, especially here in America, as parts of at least my community and different communities were starting to open up, feeling at odds with what I set out, knowing that the biggest game changers are tests or some type of vaccine or cure that can help. Those are the things that would allow us to safely reopen, and not feeling great about that, but yet still some places reopening. This seed of an idea for a community builder popped up into my head. And so, this community builder, here's just me drawing it out on paper. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay. Present. Present's probably the way to go. would help the user who signs in answer some surveys, some questions about their life. I want it to be very intentional, so ask them even some personal questions about their goals, intentions, what they're looking for, and understand their personal risk factors in this moment. And then from there, they can try to build communities and find connections that pair well. So if someone is a frontline worker and you personally had an autoimmune disease, even though they're a great person, you might be friends with them, for physical contact and community, you wouldn't want to be around them as much. And so this could help find the people where you can still get the in-person connection, even if, and not feel at odds and lonely, even during this time. And so things like this could happen where bigger communities, and you could build communities in the app that understand what's going on, and see which of the people might be leaving the community more, and if those connections are safe. So if the green arrow here, if this was a cul-de-sac, and most of the people were able to work from home and stay at home, some people had kids, and only one person really left to go get groceries or did other work, but they did it safely, you would understand that and feel good about the kids getting together and the people getting together. So that was where I kind of left what was most super exciting, and I'm excited to share and talk more throughout the day. Thank you for your time, and sending love. And stopping recording.
It's going to allow me to be able to work out, go swimming, anything like that, and I won't have one of these hefty radios. One, you can't go swimming with this. Two, whenever you're working out as it's a physical job, it gets in the way. I've actually wore this on a fire about 2 weeks ago, came out unscathed. It's easy on and off with your bunker coat. You don't even feel it's there. You can take it off and the watch stays where it's at.
I like the fact that when I'm wearing it, no matter what I'm doing around the station, if we're doing our workout and we're far away from the tomes, like I still get an idea that we're getting a call.
Hi, I'm Atticus.
And hey, I'm Paul. We're presenting for the Hacker Earth Reverse Pandemic Hackathon for our team Edunomics with our solution, Emotional AI. This is our team. Our background and experiences are primarily in education and economics. For this, we're going to be focusing on COVID-19 and its impact on mental health, particularly in students. This will be told through the story of Jenny. Because of the COVID-19 crisis, Jenny has moved back home and her schooling has moved online. Week 1 was fine. Things were a little weird, but also a little exciting. As weeks go on, however, Jenny's sleep schedule becomes irregular and her exercise less frequent and less structured. These problems seem a little more obvious, but the real problems are less visible. Feelings of isolation, anxiety, and sadness due to this sudden and uncertain change. As we can see with data, primarily from Gallup, Jenny is not alone. Many Americans are plagued by these negative mental feelings and concerns about what is going to happen to their futures. Education and socialization are two major areas impacted by COVID-19. For education, traditional instruction has been moved online, which is uncharted waters for many students and many instructors. Students additionally face increased screen time and a lot of time indoors as a result. Students like Jenny are juggling a lot of change and stress in this time with a lot of uncertainty plaguing them. As for socialization, less physical and organic face-to-face contact is a result of stay-at-home orders and social distancing. This downtick in interaction has many students spending minimal times with friends and peers. People like Jenny can no longer participate in clubs, extracurriculars, athletics, and more. Our goal in this was to target negative intangibles and connect students and individuals to support systems. Three main parties that stuck out in our minds were families, students, and counselors and therapists, with students at the middle. We wanted a way to help them get the support they needed. So putting our minds together and doing a little research, we came to our solution, emotional AI.
Introducing emotional AI. Emotional AI uses facial recognition and emotional detection to build an individualized database for your emotional health. Over time, emotional AI detects any deviance from the standalone emotional state and uses data to support the individual. Our software exists as an extension to Zoom and other conference call softwares, and as a standalone software that runs in the background on desktop, laptop, mobile, and tablets. There are 3 simple steps to emotional AI. In the case of Jenny would work as usual, and the AI would collect any data and give her a report of her emotional health. If there are any negative patterns in her data, you would alert her therapist or offer her resources to online counseling. Our market consists of 3 data points. The COVID-19 has resulted in 1.2 billion children from 186 countries out of traditional classrooms into online learning. The growth on Zoom went from 10 million users to 300 million users, and online therapy consists of 2 million active users. It is clear that there is both an increase in people being forced into remote learning and working situations alongside an ever-increasing demand for online therapy and counseling services. The market potential are driven by individual consumers that exist in 3 market segments: educational institutes, business, and therapists. The basic technology already exists. However, it is not adapted or implemented for purposes. There are open source codes on GitHub for simple emotional AI detection using facial recognition and emotional detection. Right now, the game is data. Whoever has the most amount of data for machine learning has the better emotional AI. The potential are limitless.
So there you have it in a nutshell. We laid out the problems caused by COVID-19, particularly with mental health, identifying upticks of loneliness, sadness, and anxiety in individuals, particularly students. And this is what we really wanted to tackle.
And our solution and marketability? Emotional AI is an integration of machine learning and social support. And the conclusion is that emotional AI could help more than just students' emotional health. It could measure remote learning engagement rates, also assist online therapists and employers at measuring remote workers' emotional well-being and productivity. Thank you.
Thank you.
name is Jiva Salnathan, and I am working on a project called Nerbula. So, starting off with my problem solved, many children living in the United States are facing mental health issues due to behavioral, biological, and environmental factors. Because of these factors, children are negatively impacted through their cognitive abilities, attitudes, and emotions. And so in the United States, a lot of teenagers and just people in general, I mean, we're seeing a continuous rise in mental health issues, especially when we're looking at like gun violence in schools, high uses of screen time, and prominent use of vaping nicotine. And so I know that students across America have also started taking on bills at the state legislature on the subject of taking off mental health days in schools. And so my solution is a medical device. And so this research project tends to explore childhood traumatic events and academic pressure that affects mental health. So my research intends to create technology that detects these small pressures and stresses in children at a young age, especially when they go to like a checkup at the doctor's office. And so this technology will identify the types of stress that one can take versus one that cannot take. And I think that this will help doctors come to a more proper diagnosis and understand like the change of lifestyle choices for that person, and also allow for the development of positive adaptations for one's mental health. I also think that this solution will help other parents and educators understand what their child can take, and so it'll definitely help them prepare for guidance within that child's life, for stability of emotionally, mentally, and physically. So once again, this is a device that recognizes pressures on the body. And so, looking at my project demo, I definitely have been continuing this research. And so, unfortunately, the pandemic kind of put a stick into my plans with the project demo, which I'm not like unfortunately able to pursue currently at the moment. But I think I definitely do need more mentorship in the machine learning area to make this project come alive and my dreams come true. So the usability and why it's better than the existing solution. I would have to say that right now the solution is just therapy and getting medication. But there really is no concrete, firm answer to what one can do when they have depression. And so I know this because I personally at home, I have a sister who endures depression. And so I come with her to the therapy sessions, and it's just therapy session after therapy session and trying out like 10 different medications. And so there's never really a firm solution. There's never a firm answer from the doctor. It's always, do you want to try out this pill? Or I think you should try it out. And so I think that this new medical device will give more of a concrete answer as to what depression really is about. And so for its marketing capabilities, I think that people would want to buy this product. I think it'd be very useful within hospitals. I think it'd be very useful for medical professionals, especially when they're doing diagnosis of folks for depression. So I think that this definitely has a potential into the market. And I think that getting mentorship would definitely help into making this project come alive. So I really hope that this project has excited you, and I hope that you can help me out. So thank you so much.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, wow. Ian, will you join me? What an exciting time to see all those ventures. I hope you're all checking them out and logging on the Slack and giving them a shout out. This is really important because especially a virtual summit, right? You can't see people's faces when you're presenting. And so it's so important. If you feel something, please message them in the Slack and tell them what you loved, any support, and please don't do direct messages to the participants. Just do it in the group Slack because we are working with youth. We need to make sure that we protect the communications. Yes, please give them a shout out. So Ian, I would like you to kind of welcome. Nick should be here, right? Is everyone, we're 2 minutes ahead of schedule actually, which is incredible.
I just want to say one more thing about the presentations. These were all inspiring, and it really shows how you can have a great idea and turn it into fruition at any age. As you saw, we had kids in there as young as 7 or 8, right, that turned their ideas and made it into reality. So any one of you youth change makers that have a great idea that you think could solve all the problems in the world, go for it, because you never know what could happen. I always say that if you have an idea and you think it's really good, believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, then no one else will.
Amazing. Yeah, I was really blown away by the age range. And I don't know if the folks here know that we actually called for ages 3 through 30 to submit ideas.
Absolutely.
So Nick is here. Okay, good. We have 1 minute until he's scheduled to come on. So Ian, would you just introduce Nick and share a little bit of your excitement about what's coming up? And Nick, we're so happy to have you.
Yeah. So yeah, Nick is a really amazing individual. Not many may know this, but he was born with hand-heart syndrome, which is a rare birth defect that left him with no legs, an undeveloped right arm, and a left arm with one finger. But he didn't let that stop him from turning his dreams into a reality. He shared his story numerous of times in front of millions of people, done numerous speaking engagements, and really has inspired, truly inspired, a numerous amount of people to not let their setbacks or their mindset stop them from becoming the best versions of themselves. He even inspired me. I listened to some of his talks with people like Tom Bailu. And man, I just want to say, Nick, thank you for coming on. You really, truly are a blessing to not only all the individuals that you've spoken to in the past, but everyone that's here. And I really hope that you all pay attention, because there are a lot of gems that he could drop for all of us to take with us.
I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for that intro.
Wonderful. Over to you, Nick. Take it away.
Awesome. Well, everybody, thank you for your time. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here. And today you gave me your most valuable asset, and that's your time and your energy, those two things that you never get back. So I want to commend you for showing up to this call to learn more, to build more momentum, clarity, and purpose in your life, especially during this craziness. And so I'm going to give a little background on me. I'm going to go quickly through my stories and some of the massive lessons I've learned by living with no legs and one arm that we can all apply into our own lives. And so, like Ian said, I was born in 1996, 24 years old. And in 1996, my mom went in for a late ultrasound. And they brought the baby up on the screen. And suddenly the doctor started saying, what's going on? Look at the ultrasound. And they said, well, what does it say? And they said, well, from the looks of it, it doesn't look like your baby's limbs are being developed. It looks like he's missing his legs, his arm, his face might be messed up. And the doctors painted a very dark picture of what I would look like. And in that moment, my parents made a massive promise or a massive decision. And that decision was that they were going to focus on the 30% of me living rather than the 70% of me passing away, because they classify me with hand-heart syndrome. And at that time, I was the 12th baby in medical history that they've ever seen this happen to. And out of the 12, 8 of those babies have passed away due to undeveloped organs. And what that means is the babies are born and they can't eat on their own, they can't breathe on their own, and they later on pass away. And so the doctor said, your baby boy has about a 30% chance to live. And so my parents in that moment chose and promised that they were going to focus on the 30% of me living rather than the 70% of me passing away, because focusing on the negative, my friends, will never serve you in life. And right now I have a few questions that I want to, it's kind of like a focus evaluation that I want you to answer. And you can type your answers in the chat. It'll only take 1 second, not even a couple seconds to answer these questions, and then I'll move on. But we know focus is important, right? And right now, there's a lot of things in the world that we can't control, yes or no, right? And so you need to be very conscious of where your focus is. And the first question I have is, in your life, the majority of the time, do you tend to focus on the things that you have or the things that you don't have? So type your answers in the chat. There's no wrong or right answer. This is a focus evaluation to see where you're at. So in your life, do you tend to focus on the things that you have or the things that you don't have? And maybe for you, the things that you don't have, those are goals, those are ambitions, those are visions that you focus on. But if you continuously dwell on the things that you don't have, your life's going to be a little less fulfilling, yes or no, right? Now, the second question. In your life, do you tend to focus on the things that you can control or the things that you can't control? Yeah, we got the chat going. Do you tend to focus on the things that you can control or the things you can't control, right? A lot of the times humans get caught up in the things that we can't control, like the weather or the news or the media, whatever it may be. There's a lot of things that we can't control, but you know the one thing that we can control is the way that we show up and the things that we consume on a day-to-day basis, yes or no, right? We got things that we don't often overwhelm us. Dream makers work to focus on making good at what we can control. Things I can control, I focus on both. It is important to have goals and appreciate what you have. More things I can control, absolutely, right? Now, the third question, I like this question. Do you tend to focus on the past, the present, or the future? And like I said, there's no wrong or right answers. This is just seeing where your focus is at, right? So do you tend to focus on the past, the present, or the future? We got future, we got present, we got future, right? Awesome. Future, awesome. I'm thankful for the things I have and strive for the things I want within reason. It's important to strive and drive towards goals, but also to be content with what you have. Kimberly, that's a great answer. Present and future, absolutely. Listen, answer this in the chat real quick. If you're driving in your car and you're constantly looking at the rear view mirror, what's going to happen? Quick, in the chat. You're driving in your car and you're constantly looking in the rear view mirror, right? Crash, crash, boom, boom, you're going to crash. Right now, I want to let you know, from a brother to a brother or a brother to a sister, that whatever happened in the past, whether it was the way you were raised, the environment you were raised in, the lack of education or the education that you got, I want to let you know that the past doesn't define you. The past doesn't define you. The very actions that you do right now define you. And so I wanted to let you know, from a brother to a brother, or a brother to a sister, that the past doesn't define you, but the very decisions you make in this very moment, those, my friends, are the decisions that define you and your future. Let the past go. It's already been done, right? And then the last question for this little focus evaluation, if you know focus is so powerful, right? Because where focus goes, energy flows. Then what is one area of your life you want to put more focus on? Whether that's your relationships, finances, health, business, contribution. What is one area of your life right now that you want to put more focus on? Because when you put focus there, things tend to happen faster. So drop in the chat. What's one area of your life you want to put more focus on? Save the original forest. That's a big one. I love that. Where focus goes, energy flows. Absolutely. Someone said love. I love it. Education, social impact, film, editing, relationships, right? Family, bringing impact, defiance. These are all amazing ones. Thank you so much for typing in the chat, because I appreciate it. This is so important because, like I said, we need to know where we're going. If we want something, we got to know where we're going. And what's beautiful about focus is, has anyone ever, for the ladies, has anyone ever got a dress? In the moment that you got that dress you wanted, you see all a bunch of girls or ladies that have that dress, right? Or maybe you like cars. I like cars, and so maybe you want this one car. And now when you're driving, you always see that car. You never saw it before, but you always saw that car. Has anyone ever had that happen to them? Yes or no? Right? What's that called is your reticular activating system. And what that means is, when your goals, this works for your goals, when your goals are on the top of your brain, when your ambitions, your visions, the things that you want are on the top of your brain, and you're constantly reviewing your goals, then you're more inclined to see the networks, the opportunities, the resources to help you get to the next level, because your brain is looking for that. We see that, yes or no? Right? That's why we look. The background on my phone. The background on my phone right now is a stadium. It's called the Bird's Nest. It's one of the biggest stadiums in China. I want to sell it out. It's been the background on my phone for like 2-3 years. Every time, what do we look at the most? We look at our phones all the time. So I'm constantly reviewing my goals. It's in my subconscious mind. I'm constantly having my goals in mind, and that way I can plant seeds, right? Because I'm also a big believer in the skill of planting seeds. And what that means is I'm always sharing my goals, my ambitions, and my visions with those around me, because I never know who that person knows or who that person can open up doors to help me get to my goals faster. Plant seeds everywhere, my friends. Share your goals and your ambitions and your visions with people, because you never know who can help you get to the next level faster, right? And so, growing up, I didn't realize I was too different. There was 2 massively important skills my parents engraved me at an early age, and this is how they did it. At an early age, my parents sat me down. They said, Nick, you're born with no legs and one arm. The world's not going to adapt to you. You have to adapt to the world. You have to figure out how to do things Nick's way. And so in the most polite way, they would put my clothes in front of me and say, Nick, figure it out. And, that's pretty hard as a parent to give your kid with no legs and one arm his clothes and say, figure it out, right? But in the most polite way, they would give me verbal suggestions. They would never do the work for me, but they would give me verbal suggestions. And I finally figured out how to put my clothes on, right? And then my next challenge came. And they put me in my high chair and they put a spoon there with some Cheerios and said, you know what time it is? Figure it out. And I finally realized that if I flicked the spoon off and started licking the Cheerios and eating it that way, it was much more efficient, right? Work smarter, not harder, Mom. But what were they engraving in me? What were they forcing me to do? Well, the first thing was, at an early age, my parents got me comfortable in uncomfortable situations. My parents got me comfortable in uncomfortable situations, because that is where the most personal growth comes from, right? One of the biggest fears of a human is fear of failure. We all have it. Fear of failure. What is my family going to think of me if I fail? What are my friends going to think of me if I fail? What are my relationships? What are people going to think of me if I fail? And don't get me wrong, failure is energy draining. Failure sucks sometimes, unless you have the right relationship with failure. Now, my girlfriend's sitting here. I don't know if she knows this, but I cuddle with failures on the weekend. I cuddle with failure. I watch Netflix with failure, because I know on the other side of failure, massive personal growth is going to be taking place. And so maybe right now we evaluate our relationship with failure. Do you view failure as a negative or a positive? Do you view failure as a friend or a foe? Failure is my friend. I embrace it, because every time that we fail, we get up, we evaluate, and we learn something new. And the second thing they engraved in me at an early age was my parents got my brain in the habit of focusing on the solution rather than the problem. A massive skill for humans and entrepreneurs is being solution-oriented, my friends. And so I think there's a ratio, and I think it should be, you should focus about 10% of your energy on the problem and 90% of your energy on the solution. Bring forth solutions, right? Bring forth solutions. And being solution oriented kind of goes hand in hand with the language that we use on a day-to-day basis. Yes or no? Quick in the chat. Do you agree that language is power? Yes or no? Quick. Yes, right? And I'll give you a little example. Let's play a little game here, shall we? If someone comes up to you and says, man, life's been a battle lately. What does that mean? Just descriptive words. What do you feel when I say life's a battle? If someone described life to you as a battle, what does that mean? One word descriptive words. What do you mean? Quick. Hardships, frustrating, growth, crazy party, challenging, tough, feel defeated, right? Learning. If someone said life's a battle, it kind of seems a little bit disempowering. But say I came up to you and you said, Nick, how's life? I said, man, life's a dance. What does that mean? How do you feel when I say life's a dance? Quick. And does the energy change? Yes or no? Beauty, fun, power, joy, happy, awesome, totally. Yes, fun. Right? Here, bust a dance move in your house right now, right? Right? Life's a dance. The energy change based on your wording, based on the vocabulary that you use, right? So we have to be very conscious of the language that we're using on a day-to-day basis. The one phrase my parents engraved in me at an early age was, Nick, it's not can't, but how. A little fun fact, the majority of humans and entrepreneurs, they always start off with the word can't. It's in their programming. We're primed. We always start off with the word can't. Listen, not only is can't disempowering, but it blocks your brain from stimulating solutions. And so when we use the word how am I going to do this? How am I going to solve this problem? How am I going to feed myself? How am I going to break through to the kids? Whatever it may be, when you use the word how, not only is it more empowering, but it allows your brain to stimulate solutions. Do we see that in the chat? Yes or no? Right? We have to be very conscious of the language that we're using on a day-to-day basis, my friends. And so growing up, by the time I got into middle school and high school, can we agree that middle school and high school are probably the most judgmental times of our lives? Yes or no? Right? Middle school and high school are tough. They're tough. And I finally realized I was different. And my whole life, I'm from New Jersey. My older brother, rest in peace, he was a wrestler. All my best friends are wrestlers. And I thought wrestlers were the coolest thing on earth. I wanted to be a wrestler. And so when I got into middle school and high school, New Jersey in the house, I like it. When I got into middle school and high school, I was looking for one thing. And that one thing was confidence. Where does confidence come from? How is it created? Are you born with confidence? I wasn't born with legs. I guess I don't got confidence, right? Where does this confidence thing come from? And one of the biggest patterns that I've realized by speaking with people all over the world, kids and adults, is oftentimes humans feel like they're not worthy enough. Has anyone ever felt like that? Not worthy of success, not worthy to be in the same room as some people, not worthy of the weight loss, the relationships, whatever it may be, right? We've all felt not worthy. Well, listen, that belief comes from working on yourself, right? Self-worth comes from working on self. And so a synonym for confidence, my friends, is self-integrity. You're probably like, Nick, what do you mean? Well, what do I mean by this? As humans, whether it's Heidi, James, Jeff, whatever it may be, as humans, we're all guilty of committing the things and not following through. We're not perfect. But there's an underlying issue. And that underlying issue is every time that you commit to something and you don't follow through on it, you diminish the relationship you have within yourself. You diminish your self-integrity. You diminish your work ethic. You see that? And as humans, one of the most important things we have is our word. We diminish our word. And so how do we build confidence? We commit to things and we follow through on them. That could be a big thing. That could be a small thing. That could be doing a 45-minute workout. That could be drinking a gallon of water a day, doing a podcast a day. But every time that you commit to something and you follow through, you build a piece of confidence. You add it to your armor. You add some confidence to your avatar, right? And not only do you commit and follow through, but when you do it, make sure you celebrate it, right? Give me some round of applause. My limbs don't make much sound, but if you're in your house, give me some round of applause right now. There you go. I'm drunk with power up here. But what's the point of winning if you don't celebrate? What's the point of winning if you don't self-reflect? And let me tell you this. It's easy to feel like a loser when you don't keep score. I'll say it again. It's easy to feel like a loser when you don't keep score. So maybe, maybe something that we implement immediately is we self-reflect on our wins for the week. Big wins, small wins, but we celebrate the things that we've done. Because what's the point of winning if we don't celebrate them? And so one time as I got into high school, my buddies came up to me and they said, Nick, you always tell people to try new things. Why don't you try wrestling? And the first thing that came out of my mouth was, I can't. And I said, I can't because my arm. And so the story about the arm is this guy, he looks like a potato. We call him a potato, but he used to look like a chicken wing. And the reason why it looked like a chicken wing is because this arm was 5 inches longer than it is now, and my bone was growing faster than my skin. So it was super sensitive, and the bottom line is, if I would have hit my arm hard enough, my bone would have came through my skin, right? Pretty crazy. But Nick's solution-oriented. Nick's always thinking of solutions, right? And so I kind of blew the idea off, and then I'm on the bus and I'm thinking about the idea. Or maybe I'm laying in my bed and I'm thinking about the idea. Is anyone in the chat, does anyone lay in bed and their gears start going, their brain starts going and they can't go to sleep? Yes or no, right? We have some people in there? Yeah, absolutely. Classic. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got 2 oh yeahs in there, right? 2 a.m. thoughts. Absolutely. And so I'm thinking of an idea. I'm thinking of a solution, how I could become a wrestler. Because if I could become a wrestler as a 15, 16-year-old kid, well, maybe the girls will like me. Maybe I'll have more confidence. I'll be labeled as an athlete when they said I couldn't do it. This will make me feel good about myself, right? And so I came home one day and I waited for both my parents to come home. I sat them down and said, Mom and Dad, I want to become a wrestler. And my mom said, oh no, Nick, God forbid you hit your arm, your bone comes through your skin. What are you going to do then? And in under 10 seconds, I came up with a solution. I said, can we cut my arm off? They said, what? I said, can we cut my arm off? Can we do something about it? And there was like this awkward silence. And then my parents broke it with, well, Nick, the right word is amputate. You're so aggressive with your words. I said, okay, I'll use your vocabulary. Can we amputate my arm? Can we do something about it? And they said, Nick, is this something that you really want to do? And I said, absolutely. It's going to instill confidence in me. It's going to get me out of this dark hole. I'm all in. And so my sophomore year, my parents went ahead and scheduled the appointment for the doctors to amputate 5 inches of my arm off so I could have a better quality of life and I could have a shot at becoming a wrestler. But I want to flip the script right now. I want to go 3 levels deep here. The first question that we can self-reflect on is, what are you willing to sacrifice for your dreams? What are you willing to sacrifice to be that student, to be that leader, to be that mom, dad, boyfriend, girlfriend, brother, sister, whatever it may be? What are you willing to sacrifice to be that person? Right? Now let's take it a step deeper. Hopefully, it's not a limb like me. But what are the disempowering beliefs? What are the negative beliefs that you constantly tell yourself? Okay, she's got big sneezes over here. What are the negative beliefs that you're constantly telling yourself that don't, they said bless you,
Thank you.
that no longer serve you? Whether that's, I'm not old enough, I don't have the resources, I'm not strong enough, pretty enough, smart enough, whatever it may be. What are the limiting beliefs in your life right now that you need to cut off that no longer serve you? And if you're up for it, share some of the things that you tell yourself that are disempowering. This is a safe space. This is a space for transformation, yes or no, right? For me, I didn't think I was a very good student. I was like, oh, I suck at learning because I wasn't a good student. No, I just learned in a different way, right? And then we can take it one step deeper. I don't have what it takes. Yeah, absolutely. That's a limiting belief, right? You have everything inside of you to do whatever you need to do. Your creator, God, the universe, whatever you believe in, gave you everything inside of you to withstand all the battles, all the trials and tribulations, all the diversity. You got everything inside of you. You just need to change that belief. And let's take it one step deeper. What are the people in your life that no longer serve your vision, or no longer hype you up, or no longer align with your vision or your core values that you need to cut off? That's a tough one. And sometimes it's our family and friends, and we don't have to necessarily cut those people off, but we can do what I call love from afar. We just give them a little less energy because we're focused on growing. We're focused on pivoting. We're focused on becoming the best version of ourselves, yes or no? And so how I view life is the front row of my life. Who's in your front row of life? Your front row are people that are gassing you up, they're hyping you up, and they're holding you accountable, and they're pushing you when you know you need to be pushed. Those are your front row, right? And then behind them, your second row, you still love these people. They may be your family or friends, but you just don't give them all of your energy because you're trying to grow. You're trying to get better. And I think there's a quote, it's not selfish to be selfless, or it's not selfless to be selfish. To be honest, I don't know which one it is, but they both sound great. So which one it is, right? It's not selfish to work on yourself, to grow. And so my junior year, I came back, I went through the surgery. It was successful. I went back to school. I swear I was the happiest kid that just cut his arm off. I go back to school. I got about 17 stitches on my arm. People are like, dude, what'd you do? I'm like, I cut my arm off. They're like, why? And I said, I'm going to become a wrestler. And so my junior year, I was a JV wrestler. You know, in your high school sports, you have your JV and your varsity. My junior year, I was a JV, and my only win was my coach putting me out for a varsity forfeit so I could get my letter jacket. And I said, thanks, dude. I don't want it. I want to earn it, right? Can we agree that things feel better when we earn them? Yes or no? In the chat, quick. Right? Now listen, I'll still take $1 million if you want to give it to me, but it will feel better if I earn it, right? And so my senior year, I was able to come out as the 106-pound varsity wrestler from a high school. Can anyone guess in the chat, how many wins do you think I had as a senior varsity wrestler in high school? I won't be offended, just guess a number. Ian said 25. I'm sending you love, brother. 10. Wow, we got a lot of 10s. 11. 2, 5. All right, you ready? Drum roll. 2. It's a good thing I have 2 limbs, right? I had 2 wins. I was 2-17, and those were 2 more real wins I got the previous year. And what's that called? What's that called if I got 2 more real wins more than I did the last year? What's that called? In the chat. Improving. Progress. Success, right? Progress. Winning. Humans love the feeling of progress, my friends. And that made me feel good. I want you to write this down. There's 2 things a human needs to do in order to live a fulfilled life, because we're all chasing happiness and fulfillment. And to be fully honest, right now with social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it may be, a lot of the times kids go on social media and they think, well, maybe that's success. Or that kid's got all that. I'm not successful. I'm not enough. We play the comparison game. Has anyone ever compared themselves to others? Has anyone ever compared their life, where they're at, to someone else? Right? We need to define what success is for you. And the 2 things that a human needs to do in order to live a fulfilled life, the one is contribution. And you guys and girls are very good at contribution. We always need to look for ways to contribute, right? And I'll prove it to you. Have you ever done an act of kindness for someone and felt really good about it? Yes or no? Quick in the chat. Yes. Because humans like to serve something greater than themselves. And the second thing a human needs to do in order to live a fulfilled life is grow. The universe says you're either growing or you're what? Let's see if you know it. You're either growing or you're what? Dying. Heidi said it first. You're either growing or you're dying. Listen, I know it's aggressive. That ain't my law. That ain't Tony Robbins' law. That ain't Ed Milet's law. The law of the universe says you're either growing or you're dying. You're either moving forward or you're moving backwards. Humans love the feeling of growth and progress, right? And so I always want you to remember those 2 things. As long as you are growing and as long as you are contributing, you're going to feel fulfilled. You're going to feel fulfilled. And so I have one more story before we end off here. When I was a senior in high school, the app Vine came out. Raise your hand, or not raise your hand. I can't see a lot of you, but type yes if you know what Vine is, and type no if you don't know what Vine is. You got some yeses, nos. Vine was an app that was released in 2014 where you can post 6-second videos, right? And so I knew what it felt like to be a depressed, suicidal, unconfident teenager. And I wanted to create a way where a kid or an adult can see a video of me. They can laugh and feel inspired and say, wow, look at Nick living his best life, right? And so I was thinking of an idea, and I wanted to do something that has never been done before. And I said, I got it. They said, what is it? I said, how many legless guys do you see crawling around Walmart pretending to be a zombie? And they said, no one. I said, that's a great idea. And so I put fake blood on my face. Someone goes, oh, that was you. I put fake blood on my face. I put fake blood on my clothes. And I set out to my local Walmart in New Jersey, which Nick's not allowed in that Walmart anymore. And I scared my first victim. I came around the corner. This guy was heavily invested in the paper towels. I came around the corner. I went, rah! And I scared him. And I posted that video online, and it went internationally viral. But why did I do that? What was I trying to get across before I end here? Is that regardless of what hand life has dealt you with, you have to play that hand to the best of your ability. You got to work with what you got. You got to work with what you got. And so whether you're, I heard someone in there, one of their limiting beliefs was, Indians can't play basketball, right? Or they're not worthy enough. And they're not worthy of the growth. I want to let you know, regardless of what hand life has dealt you with, that we got to work with what we got. And so, with that being said, I just wanted to come in here, share some nuggets of wisdom in. I hope you got a lot of value out of this. I hope there were some things that you wrote down, some anchor words. And the last thing I'd like to end off is the quality of our life comes down to the quality of the questions we ask ourselves on a day-to-day basis. Nick, what does that mean? Well, our brain is like a computer. You ask a negative question, what kind of answer do you get? Quick. Negative, right? Ask a better question, you get a what? A better answer. So maybe today you ask yourself, because this is mine, I'll share it with you. In this very moment, how can I appreciate the gift I am to myself and others? Or maybe you wake up and say, how can I be a blessing to someone today? How can I give myself a raise today? How can I love on those around me a little bit more today? And what you'll find out is you'll get better questions. Thanks, guys.
Wow.
Thank you, Nick. Oh my
Virtual
goodness.
hugs.
I mean, I need a mic. I want to drop the mic right now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, Nick, oh, I'm so, so grateful that your words, yeah. Ian, I have a feeling you were just nodding, saying, oh yeah. So,
Hey, Heidi,
yes?
I just want to say hey to Nick. Hey, Nick.
Hey, Jack.
For everyone else, Nick's a good friend and an inspiration, and I really wanted Nick to be here with you guys today, and I'm so thrilled that he made the time, and I think all of you see why we are so excited about Nick's attitude and the way Nick approaches life, and the way that the more we infuse that kind of attitude, energy, and positivity into more young people, the better the world would be. So Nick, thank you for doing all you do already to make the world a better place. We love you, man.
My brother, sending love. And remember, guys, it's not the physical body that holds us back, but the biggest disability you can have is a bad mindset. Love you all. Sending love. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Nick. Wow. Okay. Wow. We are right on time. This is incredible. Oh, great. So, Ian, what did you think about what Nick said and how you're living your life?
Man, that was one of the most powerful 20 to 25 minutes I've probably been a part of in recent years. I did a lot of self-reflecting, about making excuses. I think that's one thing, because he had it less fortunate than all of us, but yet he's still making the best with what he's got. And I think that's one thing we all have to understand is whatever cards we were dealt with, whatever blessings we received, whatever blessings we didn't receive, we have to be able to utilize that to our advantage. We have to take our setbacks and turn it into our set-ups to propel us into the future. And so, Nick's story is really inspiring. Even from what I heard his interviews from before, I think it just it reminded me of man, you can't make any excuses because someone else has it worse than you, but they're doing better than you. So I think it's just a powerful story.
Amazing. All right. Next up, we have the incredible, lovely Vandana Hart of a famous Netflix show, We Speak Dance. We're going to start. There she is. Say hello. And we have Lauren here who hasn't said hello yet. So Lauren, will you just say hi to everyone and then introduce Vandana, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, everyone. This has just been an amazing day so far, and there's more and more to come. I want to just welcome everyone and say thank you for being here. I've worked my whole life towards creating impact, and now we're all here together to do just that, and to rally with youth and rally with dancers, Vandana, and rally with people who are wanting to create motivation and inspiration in the world. So with that, I will introduce Vandana, someone who's going to invite us to move with her and create impact from movement, someone who will dance the SDGs and has done that around the world through Netflix and other amazing, amazing opportunities that she's been engaged with.
Amazing. So Vandana, do you want us to play the video first, or do you want to tee it up?
I'm sure it'd be great if you could play it. Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction.
Wonderful. Okay, Brayden, hit it.
I want to do the men's dances.
Okay.
I'm coming back for more, bitches. I'm visiting from New York, and I'm looking for the best dancers. Am I in the right place?
There was music and dance for every day in Africa.
There's a lot of cultural differences. Everybody puts their own spice in the pan.
It's going to be a real mixture of different styles. A lot of shaking.
The dance is a tool to speak and address the issues you really feel need to be addressed.
Dance is not gender. There's no feminine movement or masculine movement. There is movement.
How long has this camp been here?
Since 1949.
So all these kids that we dance with today come from this area. It's pretty eye-opening.
This art form was a way for people to free themselves.
Dance comes from the soul. It's a spiritual thing.
You're feeling your emotions. You're connecting with your community. All of these things are what keep us human.
I think this is what dance does. I'm going to keep dancing.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing the trailer for We Speak Dance on Netflix. Thank you for putting on this incredible event and amplifying the voices of young people around the world. Heidi, you are a boss. My name is Vandana Hart. I'm the creator and host of We Speak Dance on Netflix. I've also been an advisor and ambassador to the UN. I'm really, really passionate about how we can use music and dance to unite people across the world. And in this really historic moment of revolution, of rapid change, of a pandemic, it's really an opportunity for us to, dismantle systems, but also grow systems, and really mental health and people's inner well-being, their physical strength, their emotional health is so important right now, especially with Black Lives Matter. Really, if we look at revolutions throughout history, music and dance is the energy and the fire that has kept people going and showing up. There needs to be joy. There needs to be celebration, even in the most terrifying moments when you're on the front lines. This was used by a tactic by Nelson Mandela. I interviewed his grandson, Ndaba Mandela, in South Africa for Mandela's 100th celebration. And he talked about the importance of dance for protest and being in the front lines, that people who didn't have the big guns and weren't really fighting the war, but were demanding their justice and liberation, would use their bodies. And that's really what we're doing in solidarity. All of us have our bodies and our voices that we can use together, even if we're not doing violence. So dance was really used as a huge strategy to feel bigger than your body. When you move together, when you move on the same beat, when you're on the same rhythm, you're all of a sudden your bodies are one and you are infinite and you feel invincible. And it's such a powerful tool for unity, for empowerment, to dance for racial justice, to dance for the environment, to dance for women's rights. We need to get out of just our heads and really get into our hearts. That's really the big ask that we're asking for governments, from leaders, from corporations, from youth, from our parents, our grandparents. Get out of your head, get out of those limiting beliefs, and get into your body, get into your heart, and feel what we're feeling, and have empathy and feel also your privilege, and know that we're not going to stand for this kind of world for much longer. Things are going to change, and we have to do that with with celebration, joy, love, and our bodies and our dance and music are tools that we've seen be at the epicenter of change, and also to make there be joy. People are sacrificing so much, especially Black people. It's already sacrificed so much. So we need to ensure that we're supporting financially in terms of our activism, our bodies, our voices, and showing up in that way, but also showing up with joy and emotional support. So my background, I've danced my whole life, born in Russia to an American father, a Russian mother, and we were separated during the Cold War. We were refugees. My parents were campaigning to free political prisoners and religious prisoners, and they worked together secretly. And my dad was eventually blacklisted from Russia and couldn't get in. So the first year of my life, my family was separated because of the war. And I didn't meet my father till my first birthday. And we were put on a nuclear disarmament agreement between Gorbachev and Reagan. And I met my dad for the first time in Sweden as a refugee. So now my whole destiny, my whole life's purpose is really those early roots really define my purpose as wanting to unify people and to create celebration and joy. And I've danced my whole life across the world, and I trained at Alvin Ailey, which is a very famous dance school and a Black dance company that uses dance as liberation. And I was drawn to that school just because of that. And I also lived in Kenya for 2 years and was a judge on So You Think You Can Dance in Kenya, and got to watch the whole nation dance in front of me. But the problem with these dance competition shows is they don't hit the heart of what the power of dance can do. They're saying this person's better than this person twirled faster than that person. Is that really what we care about? Or is that feeling when we dance together in a circle, that of unity, of that our race, our gender, our class doesn't matter, and that we're all one? You know, I think this is kind of, we can have trust and a sense of family and kinship within seconds when we dance together. That would take normally years to build with the UN. So I went on to work for the UN for 7 years on women's rights and safety in cities. And how do we design public spaces to be more safe for everyone to use? And this is a huge issue that we're faced with right now, is how do we design public spaces to be more inclusive, where people aren't afraid of the police, that we are all treated equally. So I've created We Speak Dance as the marriage of my two passions. One of women's rights, equality, being able to access the city for everyone, and two, my love of dance. I always thought those two things were two different worlds, but really, when I put those two passions together, that's when the magic happened, and I created this Netflix series where we showcase the power of dance across countries, and as a tool to heal, to celebrate, to unite us. So I really encourage all of you listening. I know we have a lot of incredible youth here that don't be afraid of your superpowers. Our background, if you're really passionate about something, bring that passion to what you want to put into the world. If you really are passionate about music, dance, film, photography, whatever it is, make sure that you're not separating that from your business, from your work, from your day-to-day life. Integrate each piece of you, because when you integrate the parts of you that you're most passionate about, that's where we find the magic. So in my case, dance and liberation are my two pieces of magic. And you know, a woman with one leg in Turkey, after watching We Speak Dance, she said, I've never danced in front of people before, but after watching your series, I started dancing in my streets. You know, this is the power of storytelling. This is the power of bringing our passions together. This is the power of us taking a risk and uniting and creating something we never thought was possible, or that no one would support, but we wouldn't wait. It's not time to wait. It's time to create. It's time to create and build and join people on these big passion, global visions that can have huge impact across all areas that we care about. So I could talk all day about my love of music and dance and human rights, and right now it's so important. What we're building next is an app called Boa Boa, and it's basically the more you dance, the more impact you make in the world. And I decided that no one is going to create this, and it's time to do it. So this is one of my other contributions that I feel, again, we can wait for someone to come up with solutions, or we can all the youth can come up with these solutions and start working together and building coalitions. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to join forces with like-minded people with shared values and create some badass projects and movements and businesses that can really shake up this world and make it heart-centered, human-centered. So Boa Boa, you get to learn 1 minute of dance from any culture in the world, and then you get to contribute to that culture. That could be women in the Amazon, that could be for a social justice cause, but really thinking about dance not just as entertainment or a music video or a product, but dance as a sacred culture, a tool for healing, a tool for unity, for us to really, completely redesign our world and how we move together. So thank you so much for listening to me. If you don't mind, everyone at home, all over the world, wherever you are, please stand up, rise with me, join me to do some dances. I'm here in Mexico in a little bit of a stormy hurricane situation, so I'm calling from my phone. But let's all rise up and let's put our hands up in the air and rise the energy up and then push the energy down. Rising the energy up, pushing the energy down. So let's think about all that creativity, all that passion that we want in the world, all that unity, rising that energy up, and all the oppression, all of the blocks, all the walls, pushing that into the earth. Now let's rise all together, all of the passion, the social impact, unity, and push down any of the hatred, any of the fear. One more time, inhale, exhale. Beautiful. So I'd love to show you a dance that's really popular. Well, let's start with the Mandela dance, actually. So everyone in South Africa for Mandela Day always does this kind of marching dance that Mandela does. All of South Africa does this in unity. So just do like a really casual walk, like it's the happiest day in your life. And this is a little Mandela movement. I got to see President Obama speak for Mandela's 100th, and the president of South Africa joked and said, Obama can't dance as well as Mandela. That's the only difference between Mandela and Obama, but he defended himself. So let's do another dance from South Africa that, it would be amazing to get some panelists up to see them dancing with me. Oh my gosh, that would make me so happy. So we have it super popular in the townships of South Africa. You stir the hand in like this. Stir it up, so we're stirring up change, and then we circle the knee in and stir it up. Stirring up change. This symbolically to me is imagine that you're creating a little hurricane and you're stirring up change. Beautiful. Now let's all fly together. All of us can't travel right now, but imagine we're flying all together. Beautiful. One of my favorite moves from Bali, Indonesia, this warrior dance. The Bali episode on Netflix is all about dancing for the environment and the oceans and the waters and the sacred dance to be a guardian for the planet. It's one of the warrior dances for the planet. You can put both elbows up, you shake your hands, and you step 1, 2, 3, 4. Shake, 2, 3, 4. And the eyes go left, right, left, right. And just you feel that warrior energy deep, and you deep squat and just feel that fierce warrior energy for the oceans. Beautiful. Let's do another move from in Afro-Cuban traditions and in Afro-Brazilian traditions. There's dances for the waters as well, for Jemaja and Oshun, Ogun. So let's reach for the waters and make a dedication to the waters. Let's stir right, left, right, left, and then offer the water forward. 2, 3, 4. Let's do it again. Stir right, left, right, left. Offer it to the world. Beautiful. Let's do a little move for breaking systems that don't work. Let's break through. This is invented by me today. Heidi knows it. Ripping through, taking down walls of oppression. Ha, and then let's push it down. 1, 2, 3. Pull, breaking through. 1, 2, 3. Ha, ha. 1, 2, 3. One time. Ha, ha. 1, 2, 3. It's broken. We're ready to build. So So let's do one more dance for fun, a really fun one from Nigeria, from Lagos. One of my favorite episodes. I interview Femi Kuti on the connection between Afrobeat dance and revolution. And let's just shake those hips. So a lot of about change and social change and activism is really in the hips and shaking the body. So let's shake the hips, right, left, right, left, and then shake the hands. Take out any stress, any fear, and then shake the hips. Tap, 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 tap. Then rise the arms up, down, up, down. Shake the hips. Tap, 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 tap. Rise the arms up, down, up, down. And now let's do this dance from Legos, Killing the Mosquito, Preventing Malaria. This is a fun one. So we clap our hands and then we booty bounce, jump back 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Clap. 1, 2, 3. Clap. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Thank you so much for moving and dancing with me. Let's do one more move for women's empowerment, for the equality of men and women around the world. When we're working across racial justice, we're working also across LGBTQ rights and women's rights. Let's elevate all of these causes and really bring our passion and our heart and our wisdom and our talents to reshaping this world together. So let's go right shoulder, left shoulder, circle around. So that rising the energy of women around the world. All these moves can be dedicated to the SDGs, really. And that's just what dance does. I'm not making, this up. Dance is really created to make a better planet. Circle, circle. Creating a balance between women and men, feminine, masculine. Beautiful, you guys. Let's breathe in one more time. Exhale. Breathe in together. On this journey of dance and social change. Please be there for each other. We need mental health support. We need more celebration, dance, meditation, and really showing up for each other and asking how can we each support and not holding back on our own passions and talents in this really historic moment. Thank you so much for dancing with me. Thank you, Heidi, and the whole Dream Tank team for putting on this really awesome event. We need more youth. The youth is everything. The youth is our future, and we got to listen and we got to lead. It's time.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Vandana, that was just so incredible. When we have the better sound, when we have more online virtual worlds to meet in, we can literally dance with our avatars. So, Lauren?
Awesome. Yeah, that was so amazing. Thank you so much. It was a great chance to get up and move and be involved in just like liberating ourselves from just sitting all day on Zoom calls and on meetings and encouraging ourselves to step outside of the box. On camera, it was a little hard for me. I was like, I'm fighting with myself, but it was so great. It was so great to get some movement into the day. Thank you, Vandana.
Thank you so much.
What was your favorite move, Lauren and Ian?
I liked this one.
Yeah, that's mine too. Yeah.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I love breaking down the walls and pushing it down, especially, and I think dance is an important thing because it allows people to express their emotions. I got a bunch of friends that love dancing. So, if you ever think about getting into dancing, whether it's break dancing or any types of dancing, I suggest you do it because it's really a powerful tool to express who you are without having to speak. So.
We speak dance. That's why it's the perfect name.
Exactly.
That's so great. Yeah, I love that breaking through one. I can't wait. I can't wait to do more of those. So, Lauren, I want to step on, and I hope you stay on for a little bit longer. Now we have an incredible next speaker also coming up. Lauren, I think you were going to introduce her.
Yes, is Tanya on? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay,
Well, I can start with some introduction for Tanya. Tanya is an Orange is the New Black actress, and she is here to give a live puppet presentation about a young girl named Harriet. And I first met Tanya a few weeks ago, and she explained the idea of Harriet and brought me back into like a younger version of myself, where I was able to kind of think about from a young perspective what it was like to push boundaries, what it was like to have questions about the world. Hi, Tanya. We're so happy you're here. I'm just giving a brief introduction. And yeah, just challenged me to think like a kid again and remind myself what it was like to go through those big questions and my own hero's journey and my own questions about the world. And so, without further ado, I will hand it over to your energy is amazing. I want to invite you to think like a kid. I want you to grab your kids if you're home or your brothers and your sisters. I'm texting mine right now. I'm like, guys, hop on. Tanya's here to bring us into Harriet's world and tell us about and have us interact with Harriet in her room, in her home, and in her life. Tanya.
Wait. Lauren, it's Jeff. You
Yes.
said without further ado, but I'm going to add 5 seconds of ado.
Absolutely. Thank you. Absolutely.
Because, again, Tanya is another friend that I asked to join us. And I just want to personally thank Tanya for her energy, her excitement, her commitment. And Lauren told it to you guys right. You will be lit up by Tanya the way I first was when we first met years ago. She is an endless ball of energy, optimism, and ideas. So, Tanya, thank you so much for being here with us.
Oh, Tanya, we have you muted right now. Let's get
Okay.
Perfect. There we go.
Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for having me. I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. I'm so excited to be here, and thank you so much for inviting me here today. First, I want to give you a little bit about these people right here, my friends, and how I arrived here. Interestingly enough, on this auspicious week, this week of great change, this week of great revolution, this week of great inspiring and wonderful things to come in our future, I am actually reminded of the death of my own brother, who was actually shot and killed by cops about 16 years ago. So you can imagine this has been quite an extraordinary week for me. And I will tell you that this little girl is the thing that helped me most. After the death of my brother, my life sort of went kablooey, right? For a while, for several years. And one day I was walking my dog, Macarena, as you can see her here. I was literally walking my dog, and I began to be very interested in, of all things, my hair. I had no reason, no idea why. But I'm a little bit like a dog with a bone, right? If I get an idea, I'm just gonna keep pulling that thread, and see where it leads me. So I started to do all this research about hair and spirituality and hair and the business of hair and technology and hair. And I started to write a character named Harriet. And I guess I'm an actor, right? So I guess I see the world from the lens of story, from people, of character. And this little girl named Harriet emerged from my life. And I wrote a story about Harriet. Harriet is about a little girl who has extraordinary hair, right? She has her superpower. So many of the presentations I heard today, the extraordinary presentations I heard today, you all already know how to use your superpower, right? And I hope that this story will encourage you to cultivate your superpower. I hope it will encourage you to nurture your superpower. I hope it will encourage you to develop your superpower and then use your superpower to help others, which you are in fact doing. So this is the little story of a little girl named Harriet and her hair. I'm going to introduce you to the characters in Harriet. This is Harriet. She's about 6 years old. This is her mom, Eileen. Eileen is an entrepreneur. We'll get to that in a second. This is Harriet's dad, Harris. And finally, this is the guy who's going to help Harriet on her hero's journey. He's a very important character in the Harriet books. I've written 30 of them so far. But this is Charlie the Comb. This is the mentor. This is the guide. And this is the person that's going to lead Harriet into this extraordinary, magical, hairy world. So I'm going to invite you all to put on your little kid's hat. And at the end, I want to hear from you in the chats, right? Because there are going to be some things, although this is a children's story, there are going to be some things in here that are going to help you on your own hero's journey. Things that are not so much for a 6-year-old. But like I said, this little girl helped me through my own personal sort of extraordinary time and extraordinary journey. And I'm so happy to share her with you. Here we go. We see a little girl. Her name is Harriet, snuggled like a bug in a rug. She peeks over the covers with one eye open, looks at the calendar. It's May 3rd. Hip, hip, hooray, it's my birthday. Harriet went into the bathroom, brushed her teeth, and washed her face. She put on her favorite dress and shoes as fast as she could. Then she pet her dog, Macarena. Just then, Harriet's parents walked in. Happy birthday, Harriet, they said. They gave her lots of big hugs and kisses. 6 years ago, her mom said, I had a baby girl whose hair glowed in the dark. Do you know who that baby girl was? Me, said Harriet. She pointed to her chest. Oh, it was the best day of my whole entire life. Mine too, said Harriet's dad. We knew you were going to be very, very special. That's how I got my name, Harriet, because of my glowy hair. That's right. Today is special for another reason too. Do you know what it is? I get to do my own hair today. Harriet jumped up in the air when she said this. Yes, and it's doubly special. We have 2 gifts for you. Harriet's dad gave her a box. Inside the box was a barrette shaped like the first letter of her name, H. It was all sparkly and glittered with gold. The second gift was a comb. Wow, 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 wow. Harriet looked at her 2 beautiful gifts. Well, how will you do your hair today, Harriet? Her mom asked. I'm gonna let it be free, just like me. Free to be me. Well, after you've done your hair, come on downstairs, Harriet. We've got another surprise for you. Hip, hip, hooray, Harriet said. When they closed the door, Harriet scooped up some of Nana Grace's special hair potion and put it in her hair. It smelled really sweet, like strawberries and coconut and bananas, and it took away all the ouches when her mommy washed her hair. Then she picked up her beautiful comb and stretched her curly hair up to the sun. Harriet looked at herself in the mirror and smiled. She liked what she saw because she liked who she was. Big free hair. That's the best hair of all, she said. Razzle dazzle, diddly do. She did a little dance. All of a sudden, the pink comb jumped out of her hand and twirled around and around. She heard a voice coming out from the comb. You'll get a new chance to make a new day in your very own way. Then the comb stopped twirling and looked at Harriet. Hi, my name is Charlie. I am Charlie the comb. Wow, 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 Harriet said. She had never seen a comb that talked before. Charlie, you are special. Well, you have big glowy hair that looks like a marshmallow at Christmas. That makes you special too, said Harriet. I'm special. You're special. You're both special, Charlie. Let's be friends. Okay, said Charlie. I have been asleep for a long, long time. You said the magic words that woke me up. Razzle, dazzle, diddly do. Harriet, your hair is very special. Whenever you say the magic words, I will appear to guide you on a magical hair journey where you'll learn new things each and every day. Harriet and Charlie sang a song. Hip hip hooray, what do you say? What in the world is going to happen today? Harriet closed her eyes really tight. Her hair glowed bright like the sun. The light from her hair beamed inside the mirror, and Harriet opened her eyes. Inside the mirror, she could see her friends and family crowded around the big birthday cake with sprinkles. Along with her parents, Harriet could also see her Nana Grace, Aunt Zelda. Soon her hair dimmed. Harriet learned a wonderful thing. She had magic inside of her, inside of her hair. Wow, 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 wow. I just saw my birthday party, Charlie. Mommy was there, Daddy, Nana Grace, Aunt Zelda, and all my friends. But there was only one person missing. Who is that? Charlie asked. Me. She pointed to herself and laughed and laughed and laughed. Charlie, would you like to come with me and eat some birthday cake? Well, I will stay here today, but before you go, I must tell you one thing, Harriet. You and your dog will be the only ones who can see me, unless you invite others to our adventures. You have the power, Harriet. Ah, this is the best birthday ever, Harriet said. Thank you, Charlie. Harriet and Macarena went downstairs to join her friends and family. Charlie lay down on the dresser and turned back into a regular comb. He would wait there until Harriet came back and called them to their next adventure together. So there are a couple of things I want, if you guys can chime in the chat, things that you may have learned about that story. Although it was a story for 6-year-old kids, there are a lot of big sort of macro lessons in the story. And I want to leave you with some ideas to think about. See if you got one. Another way to make a new day, right? So like you all, I am an entrepreneur. I am an actor. And I will tell you, for every fancy television show that I've been on over the years, like in Orange is the New Black, there have been many, many hundreds, and I say hundreds with an S, of auditions that I didn't get. One of the themes of Harriet, there's always another day to make a new way, is something that I really want you to take with you on your journey. It is integral to know that you can always make a new day, right? You will always be able to pivot. You will always be able to change an idea. You will always be able to throw it out and start again for as many times as you need to do. That's one lesson. The other, razzle dazzle diddly do, right? What is that? For me, for Harriet, that's sort of the mantra, right? That's sort of something that helps you focus. That's something that energizes you. That's something that helps you to activate your own superpower in your own lives with your own businesses. And it's something that, you know, it's for Harriet, razzle dazzle diddly do, but you should identify what that is for you. What is it that gives you a charge? What is it that gives you energy? And what is it that keeps you unfocused? And then the last thing is probably the most important thing, and that has to do with power. You know, so much in our world today, right now, specifically during this week, there is an imbalance of power. And we're living in an extraordinary time where I think that individually and collectively, we understand our power. And we can we can do extraordinary things with it. And we can't do it alone, just like Harriet didn't do it alone, right? This guy here, Charlie, he's integral to her journey. And she knows that, as are these two people, her parents, her source of support, of comfort and safety. So I invite you guys to take those little ideas about who Harriet was and is and this story today as you go off and create these amazing ventures that are going to change the world. And I'm so happy to be here with you today. I'm so happy to inspire and to be inspired by you, right? This is a communicative effort. And I'll see you on the other side. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Tanya. We really do appreciate all the positive energy, from that story. Even though it was a children's book, I really do believe that it does apply to some adults even who may be in chat. I think they may be able to take a lesson or two. What about you, Miss Heidi or Lauren? What are your thoughts?
Thank you so much, Ian, for asking. Yeah, I want to embody Harriet's excitement for the world and her questions and like engaging in things that maybe I don't always think of. And I relate a little to this story because I actually have crazy, crazy wild hair. And often you can be tied to things as simple as that, but it really pushes you to ask bigger life questions.
Yeah.
I just love that. It just feels like, I was a very curious child. My mom and dad, I don't know if they're on here, I invited them, but I just wanted to do everything, learn everything. So I just felt like home listening to this story. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Yes,
Bye.
Tanya,
Bye.
amazing.
Bye-bye.
Wow. Okay. So I think we are getting ready for the next piece, but I think we need a little break here. We're going to be starting in a couple minutes.
Amazing. Thanks, Brayden.
So, Braden, just a little clarification question. One of our attendees asked, "Do we have to leave this Zoom call?" Do you think you could clarify just a little bit on that question? And also, we just posted the link in chat. So if you would like to you don't have to retype it, just click the link that we just posted in chat and it'll take you directly to this page. We're going to just hop on a quick 3-minute break and we hope to see you on the other link.
Absolutely awesome. Thank you, Brayden and Ian, for facilitating this switch over. And thank you, participants. We're excited to move into the next phase of the day as we get even more interactive and jump into ventures.
Hi. Hi. Oh, we're recording inside here. Okay, where do you want me to, can you put me in the Dream Crusher versus Dream Maker session? And is that going to be recorded? Maybe I'll go to, can you just put me there or do I go there separately? Braden? Okay. I don't have to, I don't click on the conference room. I can, if I click on the conference room link. Should I just dive there, Braden, if it's hard to move me? I can just click on the conference. That's what I was asking. Okay, all right, I'll do that. Thanks.
Braden, do I need to move? I've just got a link sent to me from Stan, but I've been watching you doing all your stuff and I thought it was in the right place. Obviously not. So you need me to go to the lobby? Okay, sorry, sorry, because you'd made me able to speak, I thought that I was in the right area. I thought I'd already been moved. Right, 2 seconds, let me try and just... No, you're doing a brilliant job. I'm just trying to work out how to move myself. The chat has completely gone, so don't worry. But I've got another one in an email that Stan's just sent, so the chat's gone.